The Kia EV6 wasn't the automaker's first electric vehicle, but when it debuted in 2022, it put the world on notice that the South Korean car company could build a world-class EV. A small crossover SUV, the 2024 Kia EV6 can go more than 300 miles of driving range on a fully charged battery, according to the EPA. Alternatively, you can trade range for performance, with the top-shelf 576 horsepower EV6 GT accelerating to 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds. After adding the GT model in 2023, Kia is unlikely to make significant changes to the 2024 EV6. The automaker could reintroduce the light trim level from 2022 in order to reduce the EV6 base price. That could make the EV6 more appealing to EV buyers until Kia gets its new battery and assembly plant near Savannah, Georgia, up and running. In the meantime, the Kia EV6 remains one of the more compelling electric vehicles you can buy. It faces increasing competition, however. The Chevrolet Blazer EV and Honda Prologue will be new to the segment in 2024, and they expand a list of EV6 rivals that already includes the Ford Mustang Mach E, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Nissan Ariya and Tesla Model Y. Check out our test team's expert rating below to learn more about how the EV6 stacks up. Performance. How does the EV6 drive? If you want a fun EV SUV to drive, there are few options that are as entertaining as the EV6. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6 are related, but Kia has done a nice job of giving the EV6 a character all its own. The Kia's suspension tuning is stiffer than the Hyundai's, and the whole car is distinctly a tad sportier than the Ioniq 5. The EV6's sharp steering makes it responsive and easy to control around turns. It's also quick. Our all-wheel drive GT Line test car accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds, which is quicker than a comparable Ford Mustang Mach E and Volkswagen ID.4 and about the same as the Tesla Model Y long range. The EV6 is also easy to drive every day thanks to its smooth power and adjustable brake regeneration. Comfort. How comfortable is the EV6? The EV6 doesn't have as comfortable a suspension as some of its competitors. On the road, the EV6 picks up road imperfections and sends them straight into the cabin. And the repeated crashing over potholes and juddering over bumps can get old quickly. The cabin of the EV6 is also slightly louder than some of its competitors, namely the Ioniq 5 and the Volvo XC40 Recharge. After a few long days, the seats stood out as another area that would benefit from improvement. The headrests jut out too far and your head can't fully tilt backward. Our drivers also took issue with the lack of lumbar support adjustability in the EV6. Interior. How's the interior? The interior of the EV6 is slick to operate and simple to use, and it presents no real learning curve. We're fans particularly of the central touch panel that switches between climate and radio functions. Genius. That said, there are a few issues worth pointing out. Rear visibility is surprisingly not great. The thick rear pillars mean blind spots are large, and the rear window aperture is just a little too small. It's not a deal-breaker, but you'll just have to be more cautious when changing lanes or reversing. It's easy to find a driving position you like. There's also plenty of room in the back for rear passengers. But taller backseat riders will have to be mindful of their heads when clambering in and out because of the EV6 sloping roofline. Technology. How's the tech? The EV6 infotainment system is snappy, supports USB-connected Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and is easy to use even while driving. Unfortunately, the Meridian sound system in our test car distorted music at higher volumes and never delivered full bass. It is a major step down from the Bose system that comes in the EV6 sibling, the Ioniq 5. We also experienced a little trouble with Kia's lane centering system, which had a hard time keeping the EV6 in the middle of the lane, and the adaptive cruise control had a habit of stopping for cars parked on the side of the road. The blind spot warning system, however, worked perfectly in using Kia's highway driving assist in slow-and-go rush hour traffic provided welcome relief. storage, how's the storage? The EV6 offers a paltry 24.4 cubic feet of luggage space with the rear seats up. The offerings from Ford, Hyundai, Tesla and VW all allow you to put more in the rear hatch area. The front trunk, like the Ioniq 5's, is comically small and barely large enough to store a laptop bag. Small item storage is better. There are helpful door cubbies, and the center console is good for holding larger items including a handbag or even a grocery bag. Parents will find the expansive legroom in the rear passenger area a boon for installing a car seat for kiddos too. All in all, though, the EV6 competitors do a slightly better job of offering up storage solutions if space is at the top of your wish list. Range and efficiency. How are the range and efficiency? We tested the all-wheel drive 2022 EV6, which has an EPA estimated range of 274 miles. In Edmunds' real-world range test, the EV6 exceeded this range by a small margin, traveling only 283 miles. Our tested energy consumption, 29.5 kilowatt-hours of electricity used for every 100 miles of driving, is also slightly better than the official EPA estimate of 32 kilowatt-hours per 100 miles. For reference, certain models of the Mach E and Model Y will get more than 300 miles of range out of a single charge. Even the related Ioniq 5 was able to go farther in our testing. On the upside, the EV6 is compatible with the latest high-power DC fast-charging stations. It's worth noting that these powerful 350 kilowatts chargers are still pretty rare. Most DC fast-charging stations you'll come across are capable of providing 50 kilowatts to 125 kilowatts. But it's nice knowing that the EV6 will be compatible with the next generation of more powerful fast chargers. Value. Is the EV6 a good value? The EV6 GT line we tested came packed with features such as a 360-degree view parking camera, a head-up display and a blind spot warning system to name a few. The EV6 is priced on par with competitors from Ford and Hyundai, but the EV6 doesn't fully stack up in some areas. The quality of the interior materials doesn't quite cut it at this price, and the lackluster sound system is something buyers may notice. Kia's warranty is one of the best in the business. It offers a 10-year per 100,000-mile drivetrain warranty on its EVs that includes the battery pack. You also get 5 years/60,000 miles of basic, rust and roadside coverage. Wildcard, the EV6 is one of a new crop of EVs that are slowly filling up our roads. It has distinctive styling that's bound to split opinion, but it's genuinely fun to drive. That said, the interior looks familiar, which some may see as a little bland if you're looking for a next-generation EV experience. We think the Ioniq 5 has a little more personality, and the Tesla Model Y delivers something unique in this space that Kia hasn't quite captured with the EV6.